models were definitely like more detailed, especially the flying monster thing, and that was very adorable to watch. Some scenes, the contrast of the colors were a little confusing. It could be also the screen of the colors, but like during the beginning when he was running through that hollow thing. But I definitely would like to watch it again. But I think, yeah, all in all, good work.
I really enjoyed the art style, and I also think that the animations, like having no face allows for some really good like body language animation, and I think that's really really cool to see. I will say that the one thing that made it hard for me to understand the animation is just the values. Like there wasn't a lot of lighting, and sometimes the colors would blend together. So when you're thinking about like 3D models, especially materials, sometimes they'll be lit differently depending on what kind of materials that you have, as well as just like if anything in 2D is just gonna just to make sure to check your values, make sure that your lights are light and your darks are dark. That's the only thing that I can say. But other than that, it's animation. John?
Yeah, this is, I think, the piece that I thought was, for my money, a great example of how multiple disciplines can have a cohesive aesthetic that works towards the end goal of the story that you're telling. There are a lot of things about this piece that are unorthodox, character proportions, the cinematography, the art direction, editing, but they all work towards the same sense of unease and unearthliness and discomfort that I think you're trying to give the viewer, and I think they all do it effectively. Some of the cameras were moving a little fast for me. The style isn't something that I could personally watch for more than a few minutes without getting pretty motion sick, so that's always just something to keep in the back of your mind when you think about how the actual mechanics of the piece you're making are going to affect the audience. And I think some of the execution was a little bit rough due to some of the unorthodox choices you've made in the overall style, but if this is a style of things you like to do, just keep working on refining and polishing that execution, because the overall vision was pretty compelling, and I think there's an audience for it. So, yeah, like I said, right now it's kind of hard to tell how much is intention, how much, of course, is that there's a limited amount of time on this project. But I thought there were some really, really interesting things in there. And yeah, like I said, had a very unique, unorthodox vision, which is always great to see.
Awesome.